That's not necessarily true. Okay, a lot of a lot of spiritual interaction is based off of what your want is and what you can handle, if that makes sense. Uh, and good spirits will respect that a lot of the time. But again, when we talk about these things, you've got to remember that some things have never lived and have never died and have a very different interpretation of what we would regard as a positive and a negative outcome.
Hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? But listen, whilst I'm looking for something on my phone here, I would like you to just take us into the first part of this story with you, babe, if you don't mind, because
So the first
I'm
time,
also going to fix the lights on the screen just now because I know they're already going to be doing a few people's heads in. So just bear with me.
yeah. So for me, the first time that I realised, like, what was that? Who was that? Why can I only see that? It was in my auntie's house, and I must have been about 8, 9. I was young, and I remember my mum would always take me to my auntie's to see my cousin to have a sleepover.
Dan, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Right,
Uh,
just to put an extra element on, just before you begin this, I just want to say something. Right, if there is any spirits or energies that are present in this house,
oh my days!
would
Wait a
like to
minute.
make your way to the space that I am currently dwelling in, and you would like to make contact through the devices here, there's several crystals. You can move close to this device, and it'll let us know you're
Oh
here.
my days! Right.
Before the live stream happened, there was a rolled up Velcro cable tie. I'll show you what it looks like on this camera down here. This is what it's like. And it was slipped over the top of a coat hook. And right before we started, it hit off my hair and the Velcro stuck to my hair. But there was no way it could have fallen. Like it's one of those moments. So if there's any energies, spirits, or entities who wish no harm and cannot attach themselves to me, but want to use my energy and use these devices throughout this live stream, make yourself known. Dan, please continue. 666 viewers. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. So back to what I was saying. I must have. I was young. I was 7. I think I was 7, and I would stay at my auntie's house. Had to have a sleepover with my cousin,
Okay.
and I knew that her flat. I always felt uneasy being there. During the day, it was fine, but during the night, when the lights went off and it was dark, that's when I heard things. I seen things. I seen things walking about, and so what I seen. There was two men, but the men weren't actually there. So obviously, being 7 years old, I didn't really understand why these men were here during the night.
Can you describe the environment? So were you lying down sleeping? Were they appearing in the room?
Yeah, I was in it was a one bedroom flat. Me and my cousin, we were in this double bed. So my cousin, he must have been about 3 years old or something. He was young. And my auntie would sleep um on the couch. So lights were out. Me and him were just in bed. But obviously I didn't doze off. Like, I've always struggled with sleeping, and I'd always see these two men just walking about the room. But I never questioned that. I never thought, who are these men that are coming in at the middle of the night? But they'd float, they'd go between the walls, they'd go between the doors.
Okay, whoa.
And they'd always, I remember waking up needing the toilet. And it's as if, like, they would both go into the bathroom and then I would follow in after them. But obviously, then I would then go into the bathroom. When I put the light on, they were no longer there. So,
So did you
I
say that there was times that you would actually follow them?
only when I needed the toilet, but when I seen them go into the bathroom, I would still follow them through. I wouldn't be like,
And
oh, okay,
did you,
here are you guys.
other than general fear of the unknown, did you get a sense of like malice or ill intent from them, or was it just your
No, I never
interpretation?
felt. I felt, being that age, I felt confused.
Mhm.
I didn't feel danger. I didn't feel, who are these people, and I also felt like I don't really want to speak about this to my mum, to my auntie, to my cousin, to anyone, because I didn't understand it myself. But then I remember my auntie would always bring up to my mum saying, "Oh, you wouldn't believe what happened last night with this ghost." My auntie would always feel something in this flat and like weird stuff happening or whatever. So I even remember actually when my auntie came up to see me not long ago, we were talking about that flat. She's now moved out that flat, and we were talking about these, and we always knew it was men. It was weird, and oh, it
That's
was
in, like,
always
so
the bathroom where they went to. Whenever they left the bedroom, they wouldn't like then walk out into the living room, into the kitchen. It was always into the bathroom, and
there's
that
a
was,
sense of repeating the same action over and over.
yes. And then eventually, as I got older, I think I had sleepovers at my auntie's until I was maybe 13, 14, early teens. I no longer wanted to go because the older I got, the more I was like, I don't enjoy this. Not that
Yeah.
anything bad happened, not that anything moved, not that anything hurt me, not that anything came in my face. I didn't enjoy seeing the two men in the bedroom, and every time I then had to get up to do the toilet,
Yeah.
they would both then leave the room, knowing I would then need to follow them into the bathroom. So that was when it all first started. However, when I was younger, like a baby, like I don't know, 1, 2, 3 years old, my mum would always say when we were in our flat, I would always do what Nova's doing right now. So I'd be looking at the ceiling, my neck would be breaking no matter how much my mum tried to move me. I'd be watching stuff in this flat. I'd be crying if she moved me away from it. So I don't know. My
Okay, well,
first
look, let me just comment on this. So, put a one in the side chat if you think what Dan is talking about is residual energies. So, what basically you were seeing there wasn't technically a ghost or a spirit. It was the residual energy of that person living out moments of their life that took place
yeah,
in
but
the house.
it was two of them. It was two men.
It'd be interesting if you can you remember the address. Don't say it out loud, but do you remember the address?
Yeah.
Well, what
Well,
we could
no, I'm not saying that the address, but it was 111. That was.
Okay, but what we could do is we could look up the address. In fact, you
That's
could
so funny. You say put a one in the side chat in her address. I'm not going to say the full address,
yeah, yeah.
but it was 111, and then the
Interesting.
like
Well, what we can do is we could Google the address and see if any people passed away. It might have been. Did the people look different from each other? The two men.
Well, the thing, I never. It wasn't like I
It wasn't.
couldn't make out their features. It was the outline.
It was probably the same guy. It was probably one guy doing different moments in his life. You know how we talked about poltergeists and how poltergeists are created through negative
Well,
energy.
yeah, but I don't think it was because
No,
they
no,
were
it wasn't a poltergeist.
inherently
It
like
wasn't a poltergeist.
evil. Like I never felt
No, no,
evilness.
that's what I'm saying. I don't mean it's a poltergeist. I just mean residual energy from any sort of events, positive or negative, can reside in a place the longer someone's there. The Japanese believe the longer an item exists, it takes on a soul of its own. And it's sort of the same concept when we look at a house or an area as an item. The more it's lived in, the more energy, the more souls, the more vibration that goes through, the more of that gets imprinted. And it's a very interesting story because as you tell more, we'll see how many similarities and data points add up that could point towards certain skills and all the rest. And then listen, everyone, once Dan is done with her story, we're going to go to the crows and we're going to see if the spirits want to tell her what they've been trying to say or why they've been trying to pop into her life. And she can get some answers. We've got a spirit
Yeah,
box
no,
as
but
well.
there's so many things that have happened. It's
Oh
not
yeah,
like this.
we're going to continue now. So take us on to the next step of your journey, or the next thing you remember, Dan, if you can.
So the next still in my auntie's house, it was then during the day. I would then see, so me and my cousin, so let's say I was maybe like 14, 15 at this point, and we'd be gaming, we'd be on the computer. It was daylight, we're in the living room. My auntie would be doing bits and bobs in the kitchen, like just her, just her alone. Me and my cousin in the living room, and her living room door, it would be like glass panel, so you could see through into the hallway, you could see into the bathroom, the bedroom, and I'd always see this black shadow go still straight into the bathroom, and I'd find myself in a daze just staring at it, staring at it, staring at it, like kind of in a trance, like daydreaming, like as if I'm paused. And my auntie came through, she's like, Danielle, hello, you okay, Danielle, hello? And I'm just mesmerised by what I had seen, but again, I still didn't say anything because still, like, being, how do you explain that, being young? I know, like, being 15,
And
14,
what
early
was it?
teens.
What was it exactly you seen?
It
Was it
was
the two men or
the black,
something more?
it was a black silhouette figure, like, continuously walking into the bathroom.
Completely different from the original two men.
No. The same outline, the same height, the same figure, but during.
Do you know it was
Oh my
definitely
god! Right, okay, I'm
what
just
makes
here.
what,
I'm
what
here.
makes
I'm hearing tapping.
what makes you think it was a man? Were you definitely 100,000,000%
Yeah.
convinced it was a man?
Yes. Yeah. Hang on. I don't. Let me check if that's the door. 2 seconds. I think someone's at the door.
Hang on, wait, I'll
2
give you
seconds.
yeah,
Someone
it's the
tapping. 2
door.
seconds.
The code's 2623. You can't hear me. This is really fascinating. I just want to say, Dan's got quite a lot to offer, and doing shows with Dan is something I've always wanted to do. So we'll definitely be looking for your feedback, and if you would like to see us do some more stuff, because we're really quite good at entertaining ourselves, reacting to stuff, and I would very much like you to see all aspects of my wonderful lady. So she should be returning now with her order. Nope, she's just going to go straight to the fridge.
Back. Sorry.
Oh, you're back. My G.
No, I heard tapping because I'm talking about this. I'm like, oh my god, there's something here. I can hear tapping, and it was
Okay.
something at the
So
door.
what was it that solidified your opinion that it was a man? There was no
Oh,
face.
no. I couldn't ever tell the face. It was the figure. It was the build. It was the walking. The way he would slowly walk. I could
And was
just
it a
tell.
shadow? Was it like a shadow of a man?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so okay. So listen, everyone. When we're talking about residual energy, we're not gonna we're gonna side quest now, because if we're looking at possible dimensional shadow people leading and trying to explain or guide or whatever, we should look into that, because usually with the shadow people, they aren't leading you somewhere. They are feeding on fear, and they are kind enough to do it in your sleep and dreams so that you have comfortable deniability in their existence. As
Oh, they
humans,
100% feed off fear because I'm the perfect example. Like I, as much as I know what's happening, what's going on, yeah, it scares me. I don't like it, and they
yes,
must be like, oh,
yeah, but
you're
Dan, you're not remembering. You would still follow them to the bathroom. It's like your fear, your interpretation of what you think your fear is,
okay, no.
so different.
I wouldn't follow them as in like, oh, what's this? I'm going to follow them. It's because I had to go to the bathroom, but nothing scared me to then go because I thought, if I go to the bathroom, what's the worst that could happen? Yes, I
Mm,
can see these figures in the bathroom, which I'm seeing in the bedroom. But then when I then went to the bathroom and the light was on, nobody was there.
mm.
You know?
Interesting. Right. So carry on with where you left off. I think we were 14. You were at your auntie's house, and it was still this elongated shadowy figure that seems to be following
Yes.
you, or taunt. No, I wouldn't say taunting. That sort of has a negative implication, but is present around you.
So obviously, then being a teen, I then did speak up. Spoke to my auntie saying, "Listen, do you ever feel anything weird? Do you see things? Does anything? Do you feel like you're not alone when you're
Mhm.
in the bedroom?" And then she says to me, Oh yeah, I always see two men in the bedroom, and I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
okay, okay. And then she's like,
How
why?
did that make you feel when you realized you weren't alone in that experience?
Um, let me think. I can't really remember how it made me feel. Well, maybe as in like, right, okay, this is maybe a normal thing for this house, because
Okay.
being like, yeah, 15, that it's old enough to know that it's not the norm, but it's still too young to know, okay, this is what goes on in this house. This is the normal. This is
Okay, sure.
nothing bad's happened to me. Nothing bad's happened to family. This is maybe just a routine of when it's dark in the bedroom, but then during the day, I then start to see them as well.
Yeah.
Do you
Okay,
know what I mean?
interesting. Yeah.
But knowing no harm came to me, nothing got moved, nothing touched me. It was fine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do, yeah. So these shadow people, fairly prevalent. Was it, did you ever feel like your dreams or sleeping was affected by these shadowy individuals?
No, no, never, never.
Wow. Okay. So, as far as the traditional shadow people story, this is not the traditional shadow people story.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I say shadow people for the sake of this story, I may not necessarily mean the man in the hat and his skinny friends. We may be talking about something different here. And we've got a couple of individuals. One of them is called Hollywood in the side chat.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, and she's I don't know who she is, but she's definitely got some gifts because she's spitting out some facts and
All right, I've not seen. I've
delving
not.
into some things for you. I've been starring them all, so after we've finished, we can kind of go through them.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's very exciting. And
Interesting. See, the thing is with me, like, I know, see things, but now as the older I'm getting, it's getting more. It's not just seeing things. Things are moving. They're making things
okay, so
touch
you've
me.
transitioned now to the world around you being affected by these individuals, and is it the same entities?
What do you mean?
Well, you were saying things were starting to move, right?
Okay, so the next thing after that was, let's say I was 16, and me and my friends, 16, 7, no, I don't think 17, let's say a year after, all my friends were wanting to do the Ouija board, which of course I did not want to do. I knew about the Ouija board, I knew not to mess with the Ouija board. I
Okay.
didn't take involved with the Ouija board, but they were all, oh, let's do it, it'll be fun. Nothing, they've never seen anything, nothing weird's happened to them. They think it was a load of bull. They thought, oh, it's just something you see in movies, blah, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah, cool, whatever. So it was me and maybe 6 other friends, roughly, in my friend's house, right? And they all decided to do the Ouija board. Not one what you buy, like it was one they made where you've got a piece of paper, they write the
Yeah.
ABCD, the yes, the no, and
Yeah.
something you put over it, so something to move. So they all decided to do it. Now we weren't having a drink, we weren't doing anything, they were all sober, and I says, I'm not doing this. I'll sit on the bed and just watch because I don't want to be involved, just knowing what could happen. Because I know what can happen with a Ouija board. I know not to mess with it. Right? So
Yeah, I'm
they're
with
all,
you. I'm the same, 100%.
yeah. So we're in my friend's house and they've all got their hands over whatever, I can't even remember what it was they were using to move to the yes, to the no, whatever. And they're like, events here, blah, 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 the next bit. I don't even want to say it in here just in case something happens.